Okay, hello. I'm going to demonstrate how to add debug output to this project here, remountd daemon. It already has files in it. I can compile it. It doesn't work, and I just can't help it. I need my own debug library to get this working, and I have trying to avoid it for some reason. That's a bit stupid, really, but okay. Let's begin with just adding a single debug output line. If I can add a single debug output line, then I can add a lot of them, right? So I'm gonna go into a source, and we open the file of the main, and I'm going to use macros. We need macros, and the very first thing at the top of main is debug namespace debug init. Now, if you don't have the debug library installed, which most people will not, like for all production things, then this is not going to exist. So we want this debug macro to be defined such that the whole thing is becomes empty. So it does not exist. And that's being done by including a custom header called debug.h. Now, if we try to compile this, it will not find that because it does not exist. So let's make a file, and that debug.h should go into the root of the project. So not in source, but in the root of the project. So I'm creating it here at debug.h. And oh, it does already exist. It tells me we get here if it is included. So why was it not included? Because we don't include the root directory as an include directory. So you have to add here cmake source tier, which is the root of the project. So I'm already including the current source directory and the current binary directory, build directory, and now also we need to include the root of the project so it can find the debug.h file. So now it does find it. Warning we get here, but debug is still not defined, and it can also not find that one. The easiest way to get all those macros, I mean a few macros that I have defined, is by using git submodule. It also goes in the root of project. So git clone. It's from GitHub. I'm just using my own predefined host for SSH, but this is just a github.com of https://github.com/cwds.git. Clone that into cwds. This now has a debug.h defined, which we want to include to define all that stuff. And we don't even need our debug.h here anymore, because if you do the includes correctly, it would just search for this one in the root of the project, and if that doesn't exist, it will automatically use the cwds debug.h. Yeah, I'm going to have to spy on another project of me to see how to do that. It's the same every time, but still. So for example, this one does not have a debug.h, so it's going to use the one in cwds. Let's see how that was done. Yeah, right. That is being done by including something, for which we need another Git submodule. I'll check that one out as well. Where am I? Here. That is called PWM4. And now we can do yeah, basically all of this, I think. Don't have options. Just copy this. Below the project, and well before this test, although it doesn't matter that much. Now let's see what happens now. Now it tells us that we need to have a directory cmake gitash configs. So let's make that. Make SP. And I'm pretty sure that is probably not sufficient. There must be something in it. Let's steal that here as well. So here we have this file in it. So we're just going to copy that, and I'll show you. So I'm going to copy the file. Oops, where are you? Copy that to cmake configs, which you just created. So now we have that file as well. And the file contains the following. It just tells gitash if you have gitash. That I don't think that's necessary actually, but then it tells it where the libcwd library is. Okay, it still finds the debug of our own project. Let's have a look at the documentation of libcwds. There's you can add some stanza to this to just include the cwds debug, I guess, or I can delete this file. Then it should now work. Well, I have to test it, I suppose. Yeah. So let's move this one away for the moment. Away. Oh, that did not work. It's not including debug.h. Okay, So I think I can't do this from my head or something. We'll just have a look at the documentation. This is cwds already. Okay. Tells us what it does. Checking out a project that uses it. Adding cwds to a project. Okay, so it should have been a submodule. I cloned it. I was stupid. And the other one as well. Damn it! What am I doing? I just remove it. cwds and wm4. They should have been cloned. It should have been a submodel, I mean, instead of being cloned. 4. I thought I just deleted that, so I did not. Remove my rf wm4 cdm4. Yeah, it's not the same thing. Confusing. It already exists in the index. Okay, now they are submodels to be listed in here. Yep. Now we added this as well, I think. I still have to link now. I'll have to link with this. We also added this, cmake touch configs, this file. And this was added. Yeah, we need to copy that. So we're almost there. I just forgot to link with this. Go to source, cm, link. We'll link with that first, I think. I already have the private. Yeah, we get an error. You should have included the sys.h at the top of that file. And it compiles. And I didn't even copy the autogen. So find wm4 name autogen.sh, copy autogen to here. Let's run that. You can ignore that, it should already be fixed. I run it again and it should be all green. Yep. Now, this should be the way to configure it, apparently. Already did that, of course, but well, let's try to compile it like that. It's already built. If I run make, then actually I do something like it. It's then running this, I think, in the end, eventually or something. This one. So now, if you run it, the running was here. Let's run this as root, and now we have root.cwd does not exist. So it's using the default here. It's good enough, but then it doesn't shut up about the RC file. And it is not printing that we entered main because I never added it. Okay, let's add that one debug output line. It's here, dout write to dc notice entering main. Yep, there you have debug output. Okay, now to address this, let's say we want to get rid of the warning, so we need one of these. Let's say I want to run this as root, but I don't want to add something to the home directory of root. That would mean that we do need to add that to the current working directory, which is this one or where that thing lives. That is a good question. Okay, let's go back. Oh, this is more the documentation of libcwd itself. Must be a link to it. Yeah. Well, hardly. There's already another video that explains all this actually. What was missing? Oh, yeah. It doesn't talk about our C file here. Does not. What about this quick reference? The reference itself. It's more about how to use it in C++, I think. Configuration. Ooh, big lagging information. Tutorial then. I'm shocked. Okay. I'll just copy it from this project again. Or from my home directory then. So we need our libcwd rc, which, well, that must be described somewhere. Somewhere. Copy it to, let's say here. Let's try to add this file in the current directory or from where we started. libcwd.rc. That was the missing file. I'm putting in something. Now silent is on, so at least all this should be gone if it loads it. It does. So I got it to shut up, but a little bit too much. Even notice is not being printed anymore. And that's because we did turn all channels off. So default, turn it off, and then I want to turn on something. We do that with channels on. We pretty almost want a warning and notice on. Let's use this. Just one line now. Okay, well, this is just for testing anyway, so I'll probably run it from the source directory all the time, so I might as well have it in the source directory to kind of avoid needing to add it to the home directory of the root. Now there is another environment variable that will be looked at. Maybe that is also set here. No, you can also suppress it by setting that, and we can set this an override file. Let's say let's use that. So here. I can change my environment by changing this file. And then I'm adding that. I'll probably export it. And then I put that in top project. Directory. And here this thing, call that t. And we put in that something that looks like this. Just the channels on. I think I should copy everything. I don't need to do so. Probably we need utils, I think. They're still commented out. This one we can turn on, why not? And it just lists all of them. So restart is turned on, and then tracked system and usage are turned off, because that's the default. You also have a listing of all possible channels. And then for remount specifically, we're just turning on this. I think I changed my mind. I'm just going to add this to the root directory. So I can just move it to move .libcwd to the root. I mean, why not? And I'm just have everything off by default. Okay, it's not printing anything because everything is turned off, and everything is turned off because we are not loading that new file here. Oh, well, it should have been there, I think. That's weird. Now what? Codex. Okay, so yeah, vi. I created this. Did I not? Yeah, it is there with what the content that I want. So where is it then? On the project remountd. I'm blind. Must be here. I'm blind. That's where it is. Right. To not printing it because this is not loaded, and it's not loaded because the environment is not set. Set grep libcwd. It is set. Yeah, why is it not being loaded then? Oh, because it is not set if you run it as root. That's why. So we have to run this as root, keeping the environment that I have. So we run this, home, and I keep the environment. Now it prints it. Then the last thing I want to test is other people who do not have libcwd installed. Can they still use it? You know, can they still compile it? So the way to configure it was hydrogen is also so nice to print it. So this is the way to configure it, and it says here found libcwdr. So if we, and that's why everything is turned on, the debug output. So if this was not installed, then, well, what will happen then? I can just delete it. It's just a cache. Remove. If I do that, it will just reinstall it. Okay, have to turn off, to remove that. Maybe it would have been sufficient to just turn off Gitash. I have in my environment Gitash root set, so we unset that. then it should not use it, and then configure it again. Now it says environment variable key_root is not set, key_touch disabled in red. And we still have a debug build, but could not find libcwd. Therefore enable libcwd. Okay, link with libcwd is off because, well, it doesn't exist. With that, we should be able to build it. And it works. Good. So I have an alias for a remount where it is. We can do LDD to see what it links with, and it links with well, stuff. Do link with libsystemd, and of course standard library, math library, tcc, libc, but not with libcwd. It just doesn't exist. And we also can run it again, and no debug output. So it totally works if you don't have libcwd installed now. But you have it installed, and it is automatically installed by key_touch if you set the key_touch root. So currently we don't have key_touch root set. Key_touch root must be set to some empty directory. It is not. If I reload my environment, it is set to opt key_touch, and therefore it will install libcwd among others if it does not exist. So if we now configure again, this building, configuring, then it's gonna be building libcwd. You can even see that in the output. See where we start here. So now the key_touch root is set. And we're going to update libcwd because the project is requesting that package. Okay, some debug output with respect to that. Checks out master, and then finds that it is already on master. Well, that's interesting. libcwd also needs cwm4, so it checks out certain submodules. So, well, long story short, it's just rebuilding libcwd here. Configuring it. This is the configuration of libcwd. Building it, installing it. It's installed in the cache again, or the thing that we just deleted. And then it finds some old cache stuff in the project that has to be removed. Well, it used to be that it did not find it, so we'll remove that because now it is there. Old cache should not be used for this now. So libcwd is installed, and then we can find it, and here it finds it, and then we use it, and then we have debug output again. On this, we do not have debug output. Okay, now I'm what? Why? I just compiled it. No, I just did not compile it. We only configured it. We still have to rebuild it after configuration. So let's there was configuration. Still have to build it after the configuration. That is this one. Now I have again debug output. Yep. And if now I run the LDD, then you see that it also links with libcwd stored in Gitash, as well as libdwarf and elf. And I think that one is new as well. All of this. Oh, well, lots of stuff. Well, good. It only works. I think I'm going to stop the stream here.